this is for you if you really want to change your life. If you have the feeling that you have outgrown this older version of yourself, if you have that inner fire in your heart where you're just like, no, like I need to make some changes. I can't do this anymore. I really, really, really need to make some changes because life is more than what I have been living right now. Then this is the exact episode for you, because what I'm about to talk to you about is what I would do if I would want to change my life from scratch. But let's start this episode properly. Hello, my sunshine, and welcome to a new episode of the Outgrown Morning Podcast. I am very excited to have you here. And today's episode might be a little bit longer. It might be also one of the most transformative things that you can do if you're currently really in that phase of you wanting to make some changes. But who am I even to talk about this topic? Well, for one, I have changed my own life in a lot of ways. I have been very courageous these last couple of years with dropping out of university, starting my own business, traveling around, doing a lot of different things, listening to my soul, listening to my intuition, and now having a very different life. But number two, I have been coaching people to change their lives, and I have been helping hundreds of humans to make their dreams reality for the last 4.5 years. And throughout my time, I have gathered a lot of information, and today I'm going to give you the step-by-step guide of what I would do if I would want to change my life from scratch. And the best way you can approach this is actually by blocking out a day in your calendar. I would say preferably a day. You can also just take an afternoon, a morning, whatever you want, where you really create the time to go through what we're about to talk about, because it is really important that when you want to really make some changes, that you have some clarity on the changes that you want to make and how you can approach that. But I'm going to talk about everything like in the next couple of minutes and you're going to get it. But preferably if you are so ready to make the changes, I really want you to block out some time where you're going to follow the things that I'm about to share with you. If you don't know, my name is Greta. I'm an accountability and empowerment coach. And on this podcast, we talk about all things personal growth, mindfulness, self-love, manifesting your dreams, and becoming the best version of yourself. So if any of these topics sound interesting to you, make sure to follow this podcast, rate it 5 stars if you really enjoy it, or maybe send it to a friend who might need to hear this today. And first of all, I want to thank you so much for being here and for having the courage to click on this, because if you have clicked on this title, on this episode, there's probably a reason. There's probably a reason because somewhere deep within, you know that where you are right now is not where you want to end up. And you know that your life is meant to be a little bit more than what it is right now. And what I always love to say on this podcast, but also to my clients, is I want to help you create a big, bright, beautiful, colorful life. I don't want that your life feels like black and white and just, yeah, my life is okay. What do you mean okay? What do you mean? Okay, you're a human on this earth and we have this one beautiful opportunity of being right here. Why shouldn't we use it to our fullest potential? So I hope that this episode can help you living it to your fullest potential. And again, just take a moment to take a deep breath. You're so courageous for being here. And I'm going to take you along step by step what I would do if I would change my life from scratch. Step number 1, you're going to sit down and be really freaking honest with yourself. I want you to reflect about your life right now. I want you to think about what's currently working for you and what is not working. Why is it that you're feeling so unhappy in the life that you're currently living? Maybe you're not even unhappy, but just not as satisfied as you would want. And this part sounds really simple. Yeah, like, okay, just sit down, know what you want and know what you don't want. But this is something that is so courageous if you allow yourself really to be honest. So I want you to sit down and I want you to reflect about your current life. Reflect about what areas you really need some change in. What are the things that really take away your energy and that drag you down? And just be honest with yourself. You can really just brain dump your thoughts. And maybe if you're just listening to this today, then just think about your life right now. With what areas are you really happy right now? And maybe what are the areas where you're just like, no. This is not what I want. This is not how I see my future to look like. And you can really maybe also think in different areas of your life. Maybe think about your mental health. Think about your career. Think about your friendships. Whatever it is, allow yourself really to be honest. What is currently going on in your life? What are the areas that you're really happy in, and what are the areas that really need some change? And I know it can be hard. It can be hard to be honest with yourself and to really be like, oh no, the career that I have been creating, it is not what I want. It is not what I want, and it is okay if that's your realization. I'm so proud of you for whatever realizations are coming up for you right now, okay? You got this. So let's be honest with yourself. What is it that you really want to change about your life? And I feel like sometimes there are some things where we have the feeling that okay, maybe a vacation is fixing everything, but sometimes we're taking our problems with us. But sometimes also going to the beach can really help. But whatever it is, I'm asking you to be honest with yourself, and I'm asking you to really look deeper and be like really super honest with yourself, because sometimes you give maybe a certain person or a certain job or a certain something default for how you're currently feeling, and sometimes it is even deeper and it is something within you. That's what I know from my past as well. So just be honest with yourself and really sit down, and you can write a little bit more. Part number 2 of what I want you to do is I want you to become more aware of what is the life that you want to create for yourself. And that can seem like a huge thing, especially if you're like, okay, I don't even know what I want. How should I make a decision? Because there are thousands of different things that I could do. But let's first take a step back. Step number 2 of what you're doing is you're going to write down or think about or whatever you want to do with this. You're going to write down, okay, what is the energy and the feeling that I want to feel in my life? And you're going to be like, okay, like I know I'm feeling stressed at the moment, but there's nothing really that I can do about it. Well, here's the thing. You can choose how you're feeling and you can choose your energy. And I know sometimes that sounds like the last thing that you want to hear, because sometimes circumstances are really shit. And it's really hard to like do these things. And also, it is really important that we allow ourselves to also feel the negative emotions. This is not about always feeling happy and always feeling excited, but it's really helpful once you become aware, okay, what is it that I really want? And a lot of times when people approach their lives with like, I have these big goals, you think about really hitting the goal, but behind each goal is a feeling that you want to create. And I want you to become more aware of that. So what is the feeling that you are craving in your own life? What is the energy that you are craving in your own life? And again, this is about getting deeper. This is not about the surface level shit. This is really about getting deeper and understanding, okay, I think my soul is craving peace. My soul is craving deep connection. And maybe you have felt like you were just running through life and things are happening and you feel everything passive and time is just passing by, and whatever it is so powerful to realize, okay, no, if I'm really creating this moment to listen within, I recognize this is the feeling that I want to create in my life. This is the energy that I want to feel. This is the energy that I want to create in my life. And right now, the way I have built my life is not in alignment with that. And now I'm going to share with you a really important point, because sometimes when we get these motivational phases where we want to change everything, we have this feeling that we want to change everything all at once. And I'm going to be honest with you. From working with a lot of different clients throughout the 4.5 years of my coaching, this has never worked when you're trying to change everything all at once, because then in a couple of weeks, something is going to happen and then you're going to kind of get in this negative spiral and things are not going to work out. And that's okay. Okay, it's okay if you are not able to change everything from one day to the next. This is about a process. This is about your life. And sometimes even we look at life and about like changing our lives and like, okay, tomorrow is day 1. And I'm going to be honest with you. There is no, like, if you're able to understand what I'm saying, there's no day 1 for you anymore. Like, I have surpassed my day 1 a long time ago. And sometimes we always have this feeling that there's like, okay, I'm just starting right. No. You're in this process of living. And you're going to get some challenges, and it's kind of like a wave. And sometimes things are going better. And sometimes it's easier to do like the things that you want to be doing. And sometimes it's harder. And that is okay. That is okay. Obviously, you can change your life at any point that you want, and you can make that decision. But changing your life doesn't mean that all of a sudden everything always has to be work out perfect. everything always has to work out perfectly. This is about a different way how you're handling challenges. This is about a different way how you're showing up for yourself. Step number 3 on how you can change your life from scratch. Because what you have just done, you were honest with yourself, understanding, okay, what is working in my life? What is not working in my life? What are the changes that I want to make? Step number 2, you have also recognized, okay, this is the feeling, this is the energy that I want to create in my life. And step number 3 is a little bit more concrete about the things that you want to change in your life. Maybe this is something that is very clear to you. It is very clear to you that the current career that you're in is not what you really want. And here's the thing that sometimes scares people away, because you have that feeling that, oh, I need to quit my job right this second, right now. And I, let's say, want to become a wedding photographer. I want to become a freelancer. I want to become a content creator. I want to become a coach. I want to become whatever you want to become. And that can be really scary if you're just like from one day to the next, I want to make this change. And here's what I would suggest you to do. And this is something that I have done myself and that I always recommend to the people around me. You get to find a way to test the changes that you want to make, to experiment. Because sometimes it happens that we fall in love with the idea of something, the idea of having your own business, rather than actually understanding, okay, how does a day-to-day life look like of a person who has the life that you actually want? And sometimes when you actually look at it, you understand, okay, what are the parts about it that you like and what are the parts that you do not like? And this can be really, really helpful if you find a way how you can test whatever you want to do. This could look like something like, okay, for 7 days, you're going to test doing XYZ in your life. Or this could be something like, okay, I'm considering changing my career. I'm considering making some changes. And I know someone who is working in that area. Then why don't you send this person a message and be like, hey, I would love to have a call with you. I'm considering making some changes in my life. And I want to hear from your experience and your advice from this area. And it's really important that we get advice from the right people. But this is just something for you to think about right now. Okay, how can you test the life that you want to be living? How can you test and just figure out, okay, is this really what I want or is this not what I want? And changing your life does not mean that you have to quit your job, move abroad. You don't have to do these things. This can also be something that is more mentally, but find a way to test this hypothesis in your mind of, is this really the change that I want to make? And I'm going to tell you, it is much less scary to then make the changes once you have tested it and once you have figured out, okay, yeah, this is it. This is really what I want to do. And there's one more thing that I want to share with you. No matter which path you choose, you will always be faced with struggles. So what are the struggles that you choose to face? Because it's going to be hard when you're single. It's going to be hard when you have a family, when you have a partner. It's going to be hard if you have a 9-to-5 job. It's going to be hard when you have your own business. Each decision that you're making in your life is going to come with some struggles. And I think it is powerful once you choose the ones that you're willing to walk through. Now we're going to move on to the next step, because you have figured out, how can I experiment the things that I want to do? Let's break it down a little bit more into action steps, into practices, into systems that you need to build to basically really make sure that you're making some changes. Maybe you're recognizing right now that maybe you have built some habits that are really not helping you to get to where you want to go. Then this is an amazing place to start with. Or otherwise, I just want you to do a brain dumping session with me right here, right now. And I want you to consider what you have just reflected on right before. And I want you to think about, okay, what are some action steps that I need to take to make these changes in my life? What are some practices that I need to start doing to really kind of start this new chapter in my life? And again, this is not about making everything perfectly all at once. And then sometimes people come up with all these crazy plans of, okay, I need to go to the gym 7 times a week and I need to have all these different things that I do. And it's just like, feeling very overwhelming. I really just want you for now to just brain dump and gather ideas. Okay, what are some things that I need to do? And afterwards, once you brain dump, you can kind of choose, okay, what are the focus points that you want to really accomplish and do in your life? And you can even, like, if it's like bigger action steps, you can start scheduling them. And a really important method that I like to follow is called the ABZ method, aka A, you know where you are right now, Z, you know where you want to end up, and B, you know the next step, because we get way too lost in everything between B and Z, and you don't need to know all the steps yet. You just need to know the next step, and this is what you're about to focus on. Then, as you're writing down your action steps, you can also think about practices, because sometimes, especially if it is more something like your personal story, like your self-love journey, whatever you want to call this, having like these action steps doesn't really make sense. So you can even think about practices that make you feel more like that. Or in general, think about, okay, what are the things that bring me joy, that bring me the spark, that help me get back to center, and then really connect to that. I also really want to take a second to share with you that I have actually an online course that is about getting your shit together. And it goes into all of this so much deeper. And I have a workbook that comes with it, and I will link it down below just so you are aware, because it is really hard to put all this information all in one video, but I'm really trying to make it in a way so you can take something with you. And I will also make the show notes a little bit longer, so you have some like journaling questions and just things that you can hold on to that can support you in the changes that you want to make. So the next step of the things that I would set up are my non-negotiables. Because again, sometimes you then tend to have like these amazing, beautiful, long ass morning routines where you have 15 different habits that you want to start doing. And that is sometimes too much. So there are 3 things that I like to focus on. What I love to do is having non-negotiables in 3 different areas. It is about your body, about your mind, and about your soul. And the way I love to approach this is less than, okay, I have to do this specific thing every single morning, but it is more like, okay, every single morning, I'm going to create some space to take care of my body, but there are different ways I can choose to take care of my body. Same goes with your mind. You can journal, and you can journal about your perfect day, or just do morning pages, or do something completely different, but you're going to take care of your mind. Maybe you also like to read or to listen to a podcast episode, whatever it is. And I want you to take care of your soul. This is actually one of the most important ones. I'm going to link an episode that goes more into like these non-negotiables and body, mind, and soul, different habits. But basically, this is really about you being in charge of your own energy, of the way you're showing up, and choosing your focus for the day. This can be something like doing a visualization in the morning, or really becoming aware of the present moment and choosing your energy. But again, I'm going to link this other video down below so you can take a look at that. But I want you to write down yourself, your non-negotiables. Like, what are the things that you really, really, no matter what, no matter if you're sleepy or whatever is going on, that you want to stick to. And again, you will write down body, mind, and soul, and you will figure out different ideas how you can really make that into your reality, if that makes sense. Like, you can figure out, okay, what are some different ways I can show up for my body? Okay, maybe I can do a solo dance party, or maybe I could go for a walk, or I could go for a run, or I could, I don't know, go to the gym, whatever you want. But I want you to figure out a way, okay, on the daily, how can you make sure that you connect to your body, to your mind, and to your soul? With all that, and with making all the changes that you want to be making, one of the most powerful things you can do is to have a way to check in with yourself. Because one of the biggest issues that actually happen is that you actually end up forgetting about the changes that you want to make in your life, because sometimes life is just taking over. So I want you to figure out a way to do a weekly reflection where you set up some time of, let's say, 15 minutes at least a week, where you're sitting down and where you're reflecting about your week. What went well? What didn't go so well? How can I make my next week better? I actually have also a sheet that you can download. If you're interested in my weekly reflection sheet, you can DM me on Instagram at greta.webhofer, greta.webhofer, and I can send it to you there. But basically, this is very simple. I just want you to have a point where you're reconnecting with yourself, reconnecting with your goals, with your dreams, with the feeling that you want to create, and just making sure that you're still on the same track. And you can also do something like a monthly tracker, not a monthly tracker, a monthly reflection. So every month you also have the option for you to connect again to your goal and see more like the bigger picture. Now on to the next step. And this is one of the most powerful things that you could possibly do. And it is getting yourself some help. Because sometimes doing it all on your own is exhausting. It is scary, you're getting overwhelmed, you're getting in your head, and you have these patterns that keep coming up, and you have these limiting beliefs, and you're scared of failing, and you're scared of succeeding, and you're scared of what other people are thinking, and all these different things are coming up. And for me, one of the most powerful things that I could have ever done is to get myself help. And this is also one of the most courageous things that you can do, to invest in yourself and get yourself someone to help you. It doesn't matter if it is me or someone else, but get yourself someone who is supporting you along the way. If you have the feeling you need someone who is like your accountability buddy, supportive bestie, helping you to stay consistent, I would love to be that person for you, because this is what I do. And I also have a different pillar of offers, which goes more into, okay, you want to really change your life, you need help with your mindset, with like all the changes that you want to make, then I am the person for you. I have a lot of experience. I have talked to a lot of different people, and I love to make my offers very personalized to you, because we're all different. We're all in different stages. So I really want to create the best possible offer for you. So yeah, maybe I'm the person who will help you to get to your dream life. Maybe you choose to find someone else. But I'm telling you, one of the most powerful things that you can do is to not do it all on your own, and to find someone who is kind of like that outside perspective, because sometimes it is so exhausting being your own person who's holding you accountable and trying to think of all the things, and then you overthink and all the different things. But yeah, I would really love to be that person for you. And if you're like, okay, yeah, maybe this could be something that I'm interested in, I have a free 30-minute call that you can book. And then we can have a conversation, and you can tell me about your dreams and your life, and we can figure out if I'm the person that you want as a support. And if not, also completely fine. And if you're not ready to hop on a call with me, you can also, again, just DM me on Instagram at greta.webhofer, greta.webhofer. And if you're like, okay, I'm not even ready for that, I also have a free WhatsApp group. It is the Supportive Bestie WhatsApp group, and we're really there supporting each other. And we have a free monthly masterclass that we're doing all together. And that is something that is really exciting. So maybe this is something that you're interested in. Maybe you want to ask your best friend to become your accountability buddy, whatever it is, get yourself some help. And lastly, before we end this episode, I think one of the most powerful things that you can do is kind of create a rule book for yourself, kind of like rules that you stick to, especially when you're not feeling well. And I have some philosophy things that I really stick to. And it is about realizing that you're making these changes in your life out of a place of self-love. This is not something where you're hurting yourself and it is like a punishment to make these changes in your life. You're doing this for yourself. So why are you making it so hard? Like, really show up for yourself from a place of self-love. Number 2, this is not about perfection. This is not about in one day becoming the absolute most amazing magnetic version of yourself. It's okay if you're going to have times when you're not feeling well, and if all these things are happening, because this is part of the growth. This is part of the healing. And the last thing I want you to remember, the only way you're going to make these changes is by you being aware of yourself, and about creating the space to have check-ins with yourself and even understand, okay, how you're feeling and if you're going the right direction. And girl, you got this. You really freaking got this. And I know that I have given you so much different information, but in the end, it is quite simple. Number 1, you're going to be honest with yourself. What is the life that you want to create for yourself? What are the changes that you want to do to create in your life? Number 2, what is the feeling? What is the energy that you want to create in your life? Number 3, experiment, test. Is what I'm dreaming about really what I want? Number 4, figure out, okay, how can I break it down into steps? What are the steps that I need to take? Really brain dump it. Figure out what are some practices that I could do. All these different things. Number 5, figure out what are your non-negotiables. In what ways are you taking care of your body, mind, and soul? And number 6, get yourself some help. Don't do it all on your own, because you don't have to do it all on your own. Okay? I want to thank you so much for being here and for listening to me. I will talk to you very soon. Bye.